But once again, the nation is in mourning for the victims of a senseless mass shooting. This time, at least 19 children and 2 adults were killed. More than a dozen were treated for injuries, and it happened at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas.
According to police, just after recess is when it happened. Peach slices, ham sandwiches waiting on the school lunch menu.
Gunman, the shooter, was able to make entry into a classroom, barricaded himself, and at that point, it just started shooting children and teachers that were inside that classroom, having no regard for human life. Just a complete tragedy.
And in the neighborhood where the school's at, everybody knows each other. Everybody has grown up around there, and we're always there for each other. And when when we heard all this, well, all the neighborhoods started coming out, running to the school.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News the 18-year-old shooter drove up to the school with a handgun, an AR-15 assault weapon, and high-capacity magazines.
We do know that he was living with his grandparents and was involved in some type of domestic disturbance with his grandmother, in which he shot his own grandmother.
The intruder is deceased, and we are not actively looking for another individual or any other suspects in this case.
School will be closed. The school year's done.
Hearses arrived at Robb Elementary School Tuesday evening to take the bodies away.
I'm here on this floor to beg, to literally get down on my hands and knees and beg my colleagues. Find a path forward here. Work with us to find a way to pass laws that make this less likely.
I would normally say in a moment like this, we would all say naturally that our hearts break. But our hearts keep getting broken.
An investigation is now underway to determine a motive. Hours after the shooting, a somber President Biden addressed the nation and implored Congress to pass new gun restrictions.
Beautiful, innocent, second, third, fourth graders. And how many scores of little children who witnessed what happened see their friends die as if they're on a battlefield, for God's sake.
Thursday was supposed to be the final day of school in Uvalde. And is there a more wonderful time than those last days of school when you are a child and you can almost taste summer on your tongue? The possibility stretches out with days of ice cream at the lake and trips to see faraway relatives. Relatives who are now making emergency plans to travel in the opposite direction. Instead of celebrating school's end, now families have had their whole world end, and the community will forever mark time as before today and after. It's a tragedy that should stop us all, but we know it won't stop. There will be another tragedy and another, and the pins on America's map of tragedy will grow.